So I told you that here, when it comes to cancellation, it's very important to have power over cancellation, because unfortunately, if you give users the power to cancel their bookings, some users would just mess around with your system. But if you still want to give users the power to cancel their appointments, I'm going to show you how you can do that. So to do that, we need to create a URL here in the web. I'm going to create a new URL. I'm going to say root, and then it's going to be post, and it's gonna let's give it a URL of cancel. I'm going to say cancel booking, and then comma, and then project controller class. Let's say cancel booking, and the name is just going to be cancel booking, and the middleware is going to be auth. And now what we need to do is that we need to, let me open up the bookings. So I'm going to open up my bookings. In the bookings here, we need to add a button. So instead of saying you can add this, or you can add a here TD button, TD, and then form, and then for this form we need to give it, we need two inputs, one input for input, one input for a button, and one input for the booking ID. So here I'm going to say input, and then type. The type is going to be text, and the value is going to be booking ID. Booking ID. And also the name is going to be booking ID. And the input is going to be submit, and the value is going to be cancel. And let's also give it a class. I'm going to say class btn danger. And here the form, I'm going to say method post. And the action is going to be the route that we just created, which was cancel booking. And don't forget the CSRF. I'm going to say here at CSRF. And now what we need to do is that we need to comment this out for now. And in the project controller, we need to create the function here, public function, and then cancel booking. And I'm going to say request. And then the code is going to be like this. First, we need to get the ID. I'm going to say request, and then input, and then booking ID. And once we have the booking ID, all we need to do is that we need to remove that booking from the system. I'm going to say booking ID is equal to this. So we need to access the booking. I'm going to say booking, and then where booking, where ID is equal to the booking ID, and then we need to remove it from the booking. So booking, and then booking ID, and then delete. This is going to delete it from the system. This is going to delete it from the system completely. So let me here save, and let me return. And I'm going to say here return, and what I'm going to return to, I'm going to return to the redirect. and then to the forward slash. And I'm going to display a message. I'm going to say here, session. Let me copy the code because the code is going to be similar. I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to say, I'm going to paste it, and then I'm going to say appointment canceled. Canceled successfully. And you can, by the way, you can return that appointment so that somebody else can book that. So to do that, you can say appointment. You can here say appointment, and then where ID is equal to the appointment ID. But we need to get the appointment ID. So I'm going to say here appointment ID, and then update, and then taken is going to be 0, so that somebody else now can book this. So we need to get the booking ID. So first I'm going to get it from here. I'm going to get it here. I'm going to say appointment ID, which is going to be equal to request, and then input, and then book, and then appointment ID. Appointment ID. And we need to get it. So I'm going to appointment ID, and here appointment ID. So in the bookings, we need to pass it. So in the input here, I'm going to create a new input. I'm going to copy this input, and then I'm going to paste it here, and then I'm going to change this to appointment ID, appointment underscore ID, and here appointment ID. Let me now save, and let me head on over to the browser to test. So now in the browser, let me refresh, and I should have here a button. By the way, we need to hide these. I forgot to hide these. I'm going to say style, and then display none. And similarly here, I'm going to copy this one, and then I'm going to paste it here. We shouldn't show these. Let me refresh one more time. And now let me click on cancel. For example, here, if I cancel this, it should be canceled. So as you can see, it says here appointment canceled successfully. And if I go back to my appointment, to my appointments, to my bookings, if I go back to my bookings, I should have less appointments. Let me cancel this as well. Now, if I cancel this, it's going to say appointment canceled successfully, and my bookings will be less, will be only three. And if you go, let me go to check the bookings. For example, if I go to my bookings and cancel the appointment number 6, which belongs to the ears clinic, I'm going to cancel this, and I'm going to go to booking. I'm going to go to booking number. I'm going to go to appointments, and I'm going to go to appointment number 6. As you can see now, the appointment number 6 now is available. So I can book it again, or somebody else can book it. So this is how it works. And again, allowing users to cancel their appointments is a double-edged sword. So it has its advantages, and it has also its disadvantages. So it's up to you whether you want to allow users to cancel their appointments by themselves, or they should call this number, for example, your number, in order to have control over the cancellation. And in terms of controlling the system, you always have phpMyAdmin or any other database client or database user interface that you can use. And I recommend using phpMyAdmin. It's great. You can control the system from here. You can go to the database and control the system. You can add the appointments to the here appointments, and whenever you add an appointment, it will automatically be added to the front end, where users will be able to see the appointments here whenever they click on a specific clinic or department. They will be able to see that, and you can of course here insert. By using this insert, you can insert. You can of course cancel if you want to cancel a patient's. If a patient asks you to cancel their booking, you can do that here by accessing the booking and then cancel or delete that from the system, and it will be deleted. But you need to you need, before you delete it, you need to know the appointment ID, and then you need to go to the appointment ID, and then you need to go to the appointments table, and then you need to change the taken to 0 so that somebody else can book that for themselves.